Welcome back to AFTV. Welcome to Starting 11 show. It's Arsenal versus Wolves on the final day of the season. A chance to give a send-off to, well, the players for the summer, but some that are leaving for good as well. We're going to discuss all that and more with our amazing panel. I say amazing. I've got lead judges next to me.
The amazing is what you want to say, though, yeah?
The amazing lead judges. The amazing Julian. And the amazing, because he's my boss, and I've said Robbie, Laurie as well. Welcome. How are we all?
Yeah, good. Last game of the season.
Well, sound more enthusiastic.
What could have been?
Yeah, what could have been?
Right, is that what everyone's thinking, yeah?
Yeah. It's,
what could have been?
Yeah, I mean, this week, we have actually officially lost it for the last week, and I can now sort of come to terms with that. And I don't think I've watched any football at all this week for the first time in the whole season. I think the first game I watched was the playoff final yesterday, because it kind of was connected with us, but not.
Sure.
So slightly disappointed, but looking forward to get the fixtures coming out.
Yeah. Well, when is that? Do we know? That'll be end of June.
It's normally
July 1st.
Yeah,
around that time.
something like that.
Yeah. Fair enough. Anyone catch Dortmund yesterday?
Oh no, that is bottling it, isn't it? That was unbelievable what happened there yesterday. Like, you know, it's like us really going to the last game of the season, needing to beat Wolves and completely.
I don't know how I feel. If we took it to Wolves today
and done what they done yesterday,
that would hurt more. I'm not saying there's like a better way to lose. I mean, maybe the better way to lose is take.
I'd rather have lost like how we lost. But
that would hurt more.
Oh, 100%. Because they was all like
absolutely heartbreaking.
You know, like the champagne was on ice. You know, it's just if they played them another 10 times, they'd win 10 times. It was just that one game, and you just knew. And I felt for them.
No, I felt for them.
Absolutely.
I watched a minute of Bundesliga football, and then I watched that game, and I thought, oh my God, this is heartbreaking.
And at one stage, because Bayern Munich, we went 1-1, they was back winning it again, and just when they probably thought, well, we might get away with it. I don't know if that affected them a little bit in the game as well, because they didn't seem to be going for it as much as I don't know. It was
just the pressure.
It was just the pressure, yeah.
Do you know, I was saying to my daughter, right, that when we were sort of looking at the game, I was going to remember, Man City nearly done the same thing. Remember that time when they were going for with the Aguero thing? That was QPR they're playing, right? QPR, again, had nothing to play for. They weren't going to go down. They weren't, you know, they were just... And next minute, you know, they were 2-0 down as well, weren't they?
Yeah, and they needed 2 goals in extra time.
They were 1-0 up, then they were 2-1 down going into added time.
That's right.
They were also up against 10 men, if I remember right.
Yeah, Joey Barton got sent off.
Yeah.
So, didn't he?
You know, it's the nerves of that, you know, because everyone expects you to win. And it's something, you know what, even today, right? Obviously the game doesn't mean nothing, but had it have meant something, we played against the Wolves, they've got some talented players in there, and they just turn up thinking, yeah, it don't matter, I'll
give it a go.
Just going to freestyle. And sometimes those things can, you know, you can go and get a goal pretty early and things like that, you know, so...
Yeah.
It nerves, man, to get over the line.
Yep, heartbreak for Dortmund. And there will be some heartbreak today in the relegation battle, of course. Obviously, we're covering Arsenal. We'll be giving the send-off to the players, but there are lots of other things going on.
Who do you want to survive? You've got a choice now. Who would you want?
I think if Sam Allardyce keeps Leeds up, that's the funniest story. Comes in with 4 games to go and keeps them up. That'd be unbelievable. I think... Otherwise, probably Everton. I probably want Everton to do it. I don't know why. No, I don't know. Actually, I want Leeds. Sorry, no, I want Leeds.
Are you going to go, Steve?
I definitely want Leicester. So I've still got a soft spot for Leicester after what they did a few seasons ago. But the other thing is, purely from a selfish perspective, I don't want to go that far on the motorway. So I'd rather Leicester stay up. So I don't want to go as far as Leeds. That's a long way. And Everton's even further. I remember when we went to Everton this season, I got up at 5:30 in the morning. Remember that, for that 12:30 kickoff?
Yep.
I mean, I haven't got to you and it was dark.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like Leicester to stay up just because my son, he was there for a year, right? So I'd like to see him. I'd like to see them. But Everton got some good little mates in that Everton as well, so I wouldn't mind if they stayed up. Although, as somebody was pointing out, if they went down, that's a team that always seems to take points of us away from home. Yeah. They beat us this year away from home. They beat us the previous year. I think the previous year, did we draw or something?
No, 3 defeats in a row.
It's not a place where we go and have it. So if they're gone and replaced with, like, say, a Luton or something like that, or you know, you can go and get a win possibly, you know. So, but listen, whatever happens, 3 big clubs, isn't it?
Was you at Wembley
clubs.
yesterday? For the Luton?
This Luton thing, man, is ridiculous. You know what I mean? But I was actually happy for Luton.
Yeah.
I was happy for Luton.
Did you not
Yeah,
want
for
to
them
see
to come
Coventry
up.
come up?
Huh? I wouldn't have minded who came up.
I was mixed back because like
Luton-
I've got nothing against Luton, but I do remember us beating us in '88.
Yeah, I haven't forgiven them for
I'm
that.
forgiven for that. And also Coventry, of course, beat Tottenham in '87, which was a great cup
Yeah.
final.
Yeah, I think either of them come up would have been nice.
I wasn't bothered either way.
Yeah, yeah,
I
it'd
didn't want
been-
it to go to penalties though.
No, it's
and I
nice when it goes to penalties.
No, and I feel sorry. They were all good penalties yesterday,
Yeah, it's
apart from the one that
heartbreaking.
was.
One that was-
I went to school in Luton, man. So yeah, Luton. You know what I mean? Just,
but then-
I think it's something. Even though everyone's moaning about their ground and
Yes.
everything like that, but it brings something different, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It brings something different to the league, man.
It brings something different, in as much as we might not be able to get in next season. Because
Yeah, I
there
hear
won't
that,
be
I
enough
hear.
tickets, and
I hear that,
and we
I
won't
hear
have
that.
anything different.
But it's still something. It's a different experience, isn't it? Having
Yeah.
to go there and
We'll probably have to do the watch along.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Speaking of watch along, this one is powered. I have to cut you. This was powered by NordVPN. A big thanks to NordVPN. Round of applause for NordVPN. They've looked after us all.
How well did you just do that, by the way?
Well, I was
you
waiting
have
for you.
improved this season.
Thank you. You've been rattling on about Luton. I think, yeah, all right, great. It is the last day of the season, so make sure that you grab that AFTV special. And we've all been there. You're sitting down, you want to watch some content, you're abroad, but you can't find anything new. Actually, you're not necessarily abroad, because if you're abroad, you can watch the stuff you're watching at home. But if you're here at home, you can find stuff abroad by just getting NordVPN. You can change your location and explore new options on your favourite streaming services. And there is a 30-day money-back guarantee. Very important. You can just go and give it a try. Use code AFTV at the checkout, or click the link in the description below. Go to nordvpn.com/AFTV for the AFTV special.
Okay, Ty, why do you think you're unable to access new content on your favourite streaming services?
It's raining that day. We mustn't forget that it's been raining, so.
How did you end up with harmful malware on your laptop? Was that rain as well?
It was snowing. It's a disgrace.
Ty, what you need is NordVPN. Think of it as an umbrella, but just for your online activities.
I like umbrellas.
You'll be protected from harmful malware, viruses, and hackers.
Anything else?
It's super fast, and you can use it on up to 6 devices, protected with complete freedom at the touch of a button.
You, sir, are not a disgrace. Thank you.
And with the AFTV special, you can save even more. Click the link to be invincible.
Go support the amazing NordVPN. A big thank you to them who have powered this watch along for the whole season. And it is the final game of the season. And with that, it's the final game for some Arsenal players, Robbie. They'll be wearing that shirt that you've got. Are you a fan, by the way?
I like it.
Yeah?
I do like this shirt, yeah. I mean, I know there's some people been saying about the gold on it, but it's for a reason, you know what I mean? It's for the, to the Invincibles, it's all about sort of 20 years since that. So that's the reason for the gold. But I think it's a really nice shirt, you know what I mean? It looks like it's gone down really well. Everyone's bigging it up.
Yeah.
I think it's better than last year's home shirt. And home shirt's always difficult.
Yeah.
Because, you can't really mess too much with the red and white. You go and mess with that too much,
Yeah.
fans will be upset, you know what I mean? So I think they've done a good job on this.
I've one complaint,
Now,
though.
as I always say, put some players in it
Yeah.
that justifies the shirt,
I have one complaint. See that white stripe down
Yeah.
there, yeah?
This-
So on the authentic one, they've
Yeah.
gone and put the results, the wins and draws of the Invincibles. They haven't included on this one. I understand.
I
that
think it's a
there's two
rip-off. I think that is a rip-off.
I think it's a joke, and it's gone up to 80 quid. Listen, I
Yeah.
know people will buy it and love the club, support the club, all
So
that.
the
But come on.
£120 one has got all the lights.
Is it £120 now?
Well, I think it's
It used to be £100,
I think it's
isn't it?
110.
Or just over.
110 for the
so-
authentic, 80 for that. It was 62 years ago.
Yeah.
That's without the numbers on the back and all that. And the
that's it.
the Champions League badge you can have put on it. and
Yeah,
all that,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It
badges.
starts working
Yeah.
a lot of money.
To me, I think that not having that written down the side is a bit of a rip-off because,
That's the whole point.
why couldn't they write it down the side?
No.
Why has that only gone on to the so-called match day kit? I think that's wrong, but listen, they got to send it, and we'll buy it still. But I do think they've done a good job on this. And the other thing is the leaks were spot on, weren't they?
Yeah,
Again,
they were. Absolutely spot on.
these leaks always seem to be spot on. I like the green kit. I've actually seen that green kit, the actual in.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah, it's nice. I don't like the button on it.
The darker
but
green.
Yeah. I like that.
Bit of like the 81, 82.
Yes. But then the other kit
Horrible
now,
back then.
I'm not feeling that other kit with the. I'm waiting to see what that one looks like when it comes out.
Yeah.
It is funny because when you say about it, I've seen you awake, it looks horrible, doesn't it? But you're right, we say that 81, 82 when it came out in green, there was uproar about that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
And also,
And the
remember the
banana
Bruce
one.
Banana, there was an uproar about that as well.
But that's
So-
the thing, you can get things. The more horrible they are, the more iconic and popular they
Can be,
become.
yeah.
Or sometimes if you win something in a shirt, it just instantly becomes like. The thing is, this shirt, the pink shirt's going to be iconic because they
we
only
never
wore it
wore it
twice.
twice. Yeah.
And I still think
I love this shirt.
Yeah, I do. It's my favourite
I've got an
shirt.
unpopular opinion. I actually slightly prefer it than the black shirt.
no,
The
black
grey
shirt was the
Yeah,
best
I
shirt
prefer
by
this
far.
I love this one. And
Black
yeah,
shirt
twice
last year
they
was the
wore
best.
it. Twice
But
in August. That was it.
Have they given a
Bournemouth and what was
reason?
the other one?
Have they given a reason for that?
Crystal Palace, I think.
Crystal Palace and Bournemouth, yeah.
Have they given a reason
I
for
don't
that?
think there was a time. I mean, when you think about it, Bournemouth wear red and black stripes. Palace wear blue and red stripes. So it doesn't make sense to wear the black or the
No, but
black
have
and
they
white
given a
shirt.
reason why we only wore it twice?
No.
I guess
Because
when-
I mean, if you're talking about shirts, 80 quid, £110, and you wore it twice,
Yeah.
that's
Listen,
a
I'm
bit-
with you. But you're right, it will make it more iconic. They wore it 2 games. So who owns one kind of thing? I don't know, but
Yeah.
no, I agree. It's shit.
But it's a nice shirt.
We've got a comment from Leon here. Says, you're moaning about price but bought it. Don't buy it and prices will come down. Yeah, but Leon, look, I'm very fortunate. I can afford to pick one up. But there are families out there that are trying to...
Exactly.
You know, there's guys...
I've got a family.
Yeah.
Right,
3
and
kids.
they're
You wanna
all
buy them
ask-
all the shirt.
All the kids,
Costs you 400 quid.
they're all asking me, "Oh, Dad, where's mine?" Right. So, and those are 80 quid each. Right. So, it's all right for him to say that, but listen, and you know, it's our team. We want to rep it. We want to rep the shirt. They know that, but you know, I still feel that, you know, like for instance, when I go back to that shirt, how can you bring out a shirt that you only wear twice?
Yeah. And you just go down here today, there's loads of people wearing the shirt today.
And,
Bit of
and
queuing
they'll-
out the shop.
Home- the new
and
home
they'll
one.
be queuing that shirt. But the flip side to that argument is that we all want the best players. We all want us to spend the most amount of money. So how are they going to generate that kind of money if they're not going to price the shirts? And it's simple supply and demand.
Yeah,
You know, is
listen.
that if you want the shirt that much, you're going to have to pay for it.
Shirt deal's already done. So you know, the shirt deal's already done with Arsenal.
But all the money that goes from that shirts deal, that gives us the power to go out and buy the players, to make us the better team, to hopefully win us the championship, to win us trophies. So you can't have one without the other. You have to charge full whack
I
to get the
agree, but
players.
like, to wear a shirt just twice for the whole season.
Twice for a season.
That's a bit of a con, isn't it?
To me, if you've got a shirt and it's only twice for a season, that's what I said. I want to know the reason why. Maybe there's a reason behind it, right? There needs to be a good reason, right? Because there'd be a lot of people who say, well, all right, I'm not going to buy that one. I'm just going to get the black one then, right? Because I want to wear the shirt that the team is wearing. Why have they bought out a shirt? Really and truly, it was a waste of time having that shirt.
I don't think
Right,
they
as
can
an
fully
actual
wear it.
shirt for the team, to wear it only twice was a waste of time having that shirt.
I just don't think they can fully know. I mean, let's say AC Milan dropped into the Europa League. They didn't. They got to the semis of the Champions League. But had they, we'd have had to have worn this shirt. So I think the idea was.
Why
the
didn't
black-
they wear it last week
the black
against?
and-
They could have wore it last week against Forest. They could have wore it when we played Everton away. They
Because-
could have wore it where, you know, I mean, there's loads of
Because it's
teams
the
that could have worn
third,
it.
so you got the black away shirt,
Yeah.
so you wear it if it works, and it worked.
And
No,
there's
but,
I get what you're saying.
but what I'm saying, then there's no point in having that shirt then. Is what you're saying. Because
but then you
to
could
me,
say-
you know, they could have worn that on many occasions. They didn't. So it's a waste of time having it then, what you're saying.
Well, yeah, exactly. Because the reason that you change colours is, like, you know, Arsenal red and white, and the reason they changed it to a yellow and blue is because that don't clash.
it
So
wouldn't have a clash.
there was never no need for a third kit, was there?
Yeah.
Back in the day.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but so then that takes the argument away that it doesn't matter how often they wear it. Because ultimately, a lot of fans, me included, there's enough fans that don't care how many times we wear it. As long as we wear it once, is the third top, is that I like this top. The tops have now become a fashion accessory.
Every top is a fashion.
yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't bring it as a third kit. They could have just released it like there's some sort of training type thing or whatever, right? But they've released it as a third kit. I'd expect to see it worn more than twice for the season.
And
It's a
what
joke.
they'd done a couple of years ago, I know they didn't use it as a third, used like the Europa League kit, wasn't it? Like, you know, and they'd play
Yeah.
in the Europa League. They didn't even wear it in
That's
Europe.
true.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I like it. I didn't really care how many times they.
You could afford it, yeah?
Well, I didn't pay for it.
There's many, well, that's you as well. But there's many other people out there, like Lee's saying, right? Family of 4, 3. I mean, that's £80 a time.
No, you're right. And let's round off this chat with the super chats. JAE says, once jerseys sell out, they're worth 5 times the price. That's kind of true. And then speaking opposites, what an interesting name. Super chat says, hope we only wear that away kit twice next season. Yeah, we've all seen the leaks for next season's shirt. Let's talk Granit Xhaka, because he's posted on an Instagram story, thank you Gunners, with a list of his honours. He included 2 Community Shields and 2 FA Cups in there. Forget he wasn't there for the 2 before that, but yeah, anyway. It looks like he's off, and it looks like he's going to get his sort of goodbye at the Emirates today. I think if you go back a few years, I don't think anyone expected or would have expected us to feel, or the fan base to feel, actually probably quite sad about him leaving. A couple of years ago, I don't think that would have been the feeling. I think when he signed that contract extension in 2021, it was met with, why are we signing one for longer? But very different story now, Lee.
Yeah, it is, and I'm disappointed in his game, because I still think he could do a job for Arsenal, as Julian said earlier on. But for me, what a turnaround, because he's going to get a fantastic reception today of the back of what he's done in the last couple of years. And this is what I think, the Granit Xhaka story is a fantastic story, because it pitifies everything you say about football, like someone that comes in and changes the opinion of everybody. And that's what football's great. He has changed the opinion of most Arsenal fans. Not all Arsenal fans, but the majority of them. And I think, like, the one thing that will make me stay to the end now is Granit Xhaka.
Really? Wow. You too?
Yeah, I'm definitely in agreement with Lee on this one. But for me, he's one of the few players I can think of that I have changed my opinion on so dramatically, because I really didn't like him. I didn't have any time for him. I always acknowledged and respected that he put effort in, but I just thought his skill levels, his temperament, his attitude of risk, and he was reckless as far as I was concerned, that there was no coming back from it. And then, you know, that famous time when he went off the pitch and he told us where to go and he said what he thought of us, I thought there was absolutely no coming back from that whatsoever. I thought that was gone. And I've never known, in all the years I've been watching Arsenal, a player to be able to turn it around to that extent. And something I always remember was a Wenger quote after he got sent off for the first time. And he said, he's not a natural defender. And he was being played for so many years in a defensive position. And what I think the issue is, in hindsight, was so many managers played him out of position. Because as soon as he was moved more forward, we saw what I consider to be the real Granit Xhaka. And I'm deeply disappointed that if he does go, so I think we could at least get another year out of him.
Well, how do you reflect, and ask you this as well, Robbie, on kind of the fans' reaction at the time to what happened with Granit Xhaka? I wasn't in that day, the Palace game. I was actually at the Villa game. Do you remember the 3-2? We went down to 10 men, Aubameyang scored the free kick. And actually, this rarely gets talked about, but he didn't get a good send-off that game when he came off. He was subbed off. And there were sort of some moans and groans from the Arsenal fans, you know, what are you walking off the pitch for? We need a goal, you know, hurry up, blah, blah, blah. And he sort of trudged off the pitch a little bit. And it kind of started there. It wasn't just the Palace game. It'd been building a little bit. And then you get the situation that happened at Palace, and the Arsenal fans, you know, weren't happy. And I could understand both sides. I think as time's gone on, Arsenal fans have been kind of very criticised for the way they reacted to that moment. But I think on both sides it wasn't great.
I was at the game, right, and I remember I used to feel that Granit Xhaka was always being made a scapegoat. He don't get me wrong, he had not performed for a very long time, sending offs that, you know, always rash. And I always used to ask, what is his best position, right? I always used to ask that question, right? Now, that game, I remember his number went up and the reaction of the crowd was horrible. I ain't gonna lie, I felt embarrassed, like, hearing fans go, yeah, boo, get off, like our own player. And he hadn't played particularly bad in that game. He was being made a scapegoat for the fact that we were losing that game, right? And that's what he reacted to. If you used to go back and watch that game, that's what he reacted to. He didn't, so it's almost like he went, yeah, blame me, yeah, it's always me. And then, but then it's the stuff that followed afterwards that I just felt that we need to, you know, all right, forget you for a minute, forget the crowd for a minute, they're wrong. Forget that, we understand you're upset, but get off the pitch, man, because we need to get a goal. Yeah. Deal with this. And I think it was the how long it took him to get off, and that sort of after reaction that then got certain fans Like I remember, like me, I was sympathising with him at first, but then I was sort of later on going, yo, get off, man, get off.
Yeah.
We need to get someone on, you know what I mean? And then after that, yeah, like you said, you thought his days was numbered at Arsenal, but what a turnaround. Mikel Arteta is the person I think is responsible for the turnaround. He came in when literally every fan said, get rid. He said, no, I'm keeping this guy. He's a leader. He's going to be important. And I'd heard from people within Arsenal that this guy's got real leadership qualities, you know what I mean? And then the last 2 seasons, a lot of people just give him credit for this season. He also was brilliant the previous season as well. He was one of our better players in that season.
He was good last year, yeah.
But this season, in a position that Mikel Arteta really found for him, he really excelled. One big thing about this season is discipline has been so good. Even last year, remember he got sent off at City, then we ended up getting battered. His discipline this year, he's not been sent off at all, has he?
No.
And he's had very few
No Arsenal player.
he's had very few yellow cards.
No, that's unbelievable.
And I still think sometimes he's even been that Liverpool. It's Xhaka's fault because the way he reacted. You know what I mean? Like, come on, no, he's had a fantastic season. I'm kind of surprised when I heard that he was leaving because I was thinking, right, we're in the Champions League. He's an experienced player. We're going to need players like that. All right, you may not play every week, but I reckon what it's boiled down to is the fact that obviously he's getting on in age now. He's hit his 30s. Leverkusen are offering him, apparently they're the club he's going to go to. They're offering him a long-term contract. Arsenal probably weren't offering him that length, and he's probably thought, right, let me go and go to Leverkusen. Maybe he weren't going to start every week because he's always been a starter for Arsenal throughout his career. It makes sense as long as I see Declan Rice and Caicedo walking through that door. If I see players of that ilk walking through that door to replace him, I'm cool with it. If I don't, then I'm like, well, why let the guy go now when he's been good for us? He's just had his best season. Yeah. And in the Champions League and Premier League next season, his experience would be invaluable. Well, I'm surprised that we've let him go.
Let's analyse why he's been so impressive, because last season we started to see him get a little bit forward more, not quite as much as this year, but you started to see him higher up the pitch. This year he literally became our version of Ilkay Gundogan, not as good, but lots of goals, assists as well, scoring headers, scoring left foot, right foot, whatever it might be.
And you see him a real leader on the pitch.
And that's the big thing as well. And actually, I think we do this thing sometimes where we see Xhaka's getting forward lots. So this season everyone's praising how well he's done going forwards. The work he does to then get back next to Partey. Because
remember that tackle he made a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, brilliant.
You know, his energy levels, his fitness levels, unbelievable. Unreal. He's never injured as well, is he?
Never injured. And you see like we line up with a 4-3-3, yes, it's Ødegaard, Partey, Xhaka, but they don't play as a midfield three. When we have the ball, Xhaka gets forward, Ødegaard moves wide. When we don't, Ødegaard actually moves up with Jesus, and it's a midfield two. And in modern day football, it can be very hard to dominate a game of football, especially without the ball, as just two midfielders. So the work that either Xhaka or Jorginho or Xhaka or Partey have done this season, for most of it at least, has been brilliant. And I just think Xhaka deserves immense credit for the amount of work he's put in that midfield this season. But I also think it's a bit of a wake-up call to us, how difficult it's going to be to replace him. How many players are complete midfielders? Now you have a 10, a 6, a left-sided 8, a creative 8, a wide creator. He does so many roles in one. That's why Declan Rice, for me, has to be the guy we bring in.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that I noticed with Xhaka, he's just slightly limited with his attacking play at times. Sometimes he gets into that role, he hasn't got quick enough bit of turn or the pace to go into it, but that's just going up a level to take you from where you are now to, and it's going to cost a lot of money to replace that, you know. I'll be really honest. I think he's been brilliant for us over the last couple of seasons. I think definitely in the top 3 this season of players of the year.
He's been absolutely fantastic.
And you know, it's surely going to be missed. One of the other things that I think is going to be missed, which does go under the radar, Arsenal have been always accused of being bullied over the years. Not with him in the team. When there's a bit of trouble or whatever, he's the first one in there, and people back down to him a lot, you know, because they know what he can handle himself and all that. I think he's going to be a big loss if we don't replace. Really, you know, if they are to let him go, I'm happy to let him go. Exactly what Robbie turns around and says. If Caicedo and Declan Rice
Is that
come in,
enough?
I think.
I wanted two midfielders with Xhaka.
Yeah,
So did I, yeah.
I think it's got to
Yeah.
be two of them and a free
And there's even rumours that Partey might go as well.
Yeah.
So to me, there must be. There's some serious business. But remember, we got the Champions League next season, so I don't think we should be leaving ourselves light. But I want to see them.
We've left ourselves light in the midfield for the last 2 years.
But to me, I can only think that it's got to be either Declan Rice and another, whether that be Caicedo, but another, a real, where they're saying, right, we can free up Xhaka's wages, because remember, he'd be on a good amount of wages. Xhaka,
that's a good
he
point.
must be on at least 100 plus.
I think he's on about 100.
Right, so they can free up those wages. Those wages would pay Caicedo easily.
Yeah.
Right, so that's what I'm thinking, is to free up. And listen, you get a young, fresher, better version of Xhaka in that system.
Yeah, that's
it could be
you've got to
fantastic.
improve. I think we had to improve on the midfield this
Yeah,
year.
well, the alternative is they get Caicedo, they get Declan Rice, and then they get in the guy from City, Gundogan,
or a Tillemans or someone like that.
Yeah.
I don't know
That's
about
the one I would
Tillemans.
do.
Yeah, it's
I don't
Tielemans
think
as
we'll
well,
get
available
Gundogan.
on a free.
What I've seen of Tillemans the last few seasons, I haven't been overly impressed about. You talk about Xhaka's physical presence and the fact that people don't mess with him. When I've looked at Tillemans, he just doesn't seem to be in that mould. Yes, he's skillful, he's got a nice touch, but he doesn't
Great
seem...
shot on him.
Yeah, he's got a great shot, but Xhaka's got a great shot.
But I think,
but I
just
like
the same
action
way.
Xhaka like you
but
do.
it's a bit of a reverse argument you're using there, because you just spoke about how for the first more than 2 years, quite a few years, you weren't impressed with Xhaka. And in the last couple of seasons, you've been like, wow, that could be the same. That could easily be the same with
he's still got the physicality.
No, but hold on, with Tielemans, right? He's been excellent for Leicester up until recent times.
Yeah.
Right, he's been excellent for them. He won them the cup final. He's put in great performance, and he's still young. You know what I mean? And so it's going to be interesting. I mean, our transfer daily is coming back soon, by the way. As soon as the transfer window opens, I'm back with that every single day. And this year it's going to be really interesting, because I do think Arsenal will be looking to get business done early. Arsenal are looking at some big names, and they can do it. I mean, I saw today that they're going to be probably making about 150, 60 million from this season alone, Arsenal. Plus they're in the Champions League for next season, and no excuses for us not to go big this summer, and I think we will.
Yeah, very true. We will obviously keep you all up to date with it on AFTV. I mean, hell, Robbie and I were doing breaking news the other day, a Mount versus Maddison discussion, because of the amount of rumours that are out there. So do keep up to date with all the transfer news on AFTV. The starting 11 is coming out very, very soon. We are a couple of minutes away from the reveal. But if you are thinking about your next holiday, and why not? Because it is May, we are approaching summer, you should be. You might find this helpful. Have a little look.
If you're travelling soon, why pay more? Just change your location before you travel, so that you can explore local prices on accommodation, flights, car rentals, and events. Once you're in your destination country, you can change your location back to the UK. So it's easy to access your emails, banking, and subscriptions. Click the link to unlock your internet freedom with NordVPN. And with the AFTV special, you can save even more. Click the link to be invincible.
And of course, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go have a little look at that by using the code AFTV at checkout, or hit the link below to visit nordvpn.com/AFTV for the AFTV special. This is the final game of the season, so go check it out. Okay, the 11's out in 2 minutes. We haven't really touched on the 11. We've been touching on the goodbyes. Kieran Tierney, potentially another goodbye. So I'll weave two questions into one here.
That can't happen.
Would you have any of these players that are leaving starting, considering it's a dead rubber at second place, or do we still feel like we want to finish as close to City as possible? Not that it matters too much. I mean, they're going to win the title with about 92 points. They get the job done today at Brentford, who, by the way, are fighting to get Conference League and overtake Tottenham. So I don't think City are going to have an easy game on their hands. But to lay my cards on the table, I want to finish as close to City as possible, even though it won't really make much difference. I still rather would.
Yeah. Well, there's two questions there. If you're alluding to Tierney, then yes, I'd like to see Tierney play, but then I don't think that weakens our team. I mean, I think we've got a better chance of winning the game if Tierney plays. So I'd have him playing for two reasons. Number one, if he is to go, I think it's good to play him last game, let him say his goodbyes, but also put him more in the shop window. But secondly, with him there, I think we've got a better chance. I like him as a player. I don't want to see him go.
Well, we saw that he mixed up with Forest last week by bringing Partey in at right back and trying to change the dynamic of the 3-2-5 build-up. What would you go? Is Tierney returning to the 11 for you?
Well, I think Tierney's got to play. I think he's been given a raw deal, as I said like the other day. It's like if Aaron Ramsdale weren't playing today, it's like saying Rob Holding going in goal, like, you know what I mean? And how would Turner feel? And I think that he's felt a little bit like that. He's had Tommy Asu take his place at time. Don't even play a left back at Forest. I think it's very harsh. So I do think that we're cashing on him. I do.
Rob Holding, quickly, would you start him?
No, I'll bring him on.
Yeah, would you, Rob Holding?
I think I'd start with Kiwior probably. Just because, got to get this guy ready for next year, and it's starting to look like Rob Holding might go. So I think I'll start with Kiwior. So I'm just refreshing. I'm trying.
Yeah, me too.
I'm trying to see if I see the team yet. But yeah, I think I'll start with Kiwior.
They're always nice and late, Arsenal, don't they? They really like to make you wait for the starting 11, but we'll find any second. Kiwior, so you
Got it.
You got it.
Got it.
Got it.
He's beat me to it. Go on.
Turner in goal.
Ramsdale in goal.
Yeah.
Partey, White, Gabriel, Kiwior, Jorginho, Xhaka, Odegaard, Saka. Saka. Remember he said that Saka was going to be out.
Yeah.
Trossard, who also I heard he was going to be out as well, and Jesus.
Wow.
Now,
Same 11 as
that's
last
what they
week.
said. Yeah, and then now that's this weird.
So no Tierney.
There's no
Tierney in the starting lineup. On the bench is Turner, Tierney, Walters, Holding, Bandera, Vieira, Nelson, Smith Rowe. That's another player we forgot about, and also Eddie Nketiah.
Wow.
Now, again, that looks like that weird formation that we saw last week, isn't it? With Partey maybe as a right back.
Yep.
Or
That is what it is.
yeah, Thomas Partey at right back, Ben White coming in at centre back, and Kiwior playing on the left-hand side. Why can't Tierney play?
I've got a prediction.
He's gone,
this,
isn't he?
this is Arteta now.
Yes, he has.
He's flipping the dynamics of this team. He's deciding that going into next season, he doesn't want to always have to go for Zinchenko to come into midfield. He's trying to change it up. Last week wasn't just an experiment. This is probably what he wants to do going into next season.
Partey's too slow to play in a right back position.
Slow? Partey?
Slow.
No.
Not quick, is he?
Partey?
Thomas Partey's not a quick player to be playing up and down.
But he doesn't
the pitch
get.
right
He
back.
comes into midfield.
No, great when he drops into midfield, but
He's quick. Yeah. Partey's
one-on-one
quick.
defending right back
He's
position out
maybe
wide.
not White or Tommy Asu in that sense, but he's quick. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't like this formation. Now, we saw that last week. It didn't work, did it? It was all over the place. Why can't Tierney start?
Because he's playing this formation and Tierney doesn't fit into that formation.
And this is why he's got to probably look for someone next season,
Yeah,
right?
that fits the formation.
Tierney's off. We know.
Yeah.
But
Tierney's
I'm surprised that I'm surprised.
It's either Arteta's off or Tierney's off. Or Arteta's going to change his philosophy. But Arteta wants to play a certain way and Tierney just doesn't fit that
Yeah,
formation.
I agree. I completely agree.
And for that reason, we're going to get as much money we can for him.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Do you want the Wolves team? It's Sarr in goal, Bueno, Kilman, Collins, Semedo, Adama Traore, Lamina, Gomez, Nunez, Jimenez, and Hwang Hee-chan up front.
So that could be 4-4-2 or 4-5-1 with Hwang on the left.
Yeah.
Is Diego Costa on the bench for them?
Ruben Neves is actually on the bench. He doesn't start. On the bench is Bartley, Dawson, Totti, Oit-Nuri, Boubacar Traore, Sarabia, Hodge, Neves, and Cunha.
So they haven't got Costa playing.
No, Costa's not even on the bench.
shame.
There's also no Podence, there's no Neto, none of those sort of guys as well. So, yeah.
I'm surprised Nelson didn't start. More so than
Nelson's
Partey,
injured.
right back.
No, he's not. He's on the bench.
Reece Nelson.
He's on the bench.
Oh, did I just say he was on the bench?
But he was ill.
He's
But
not.
he's-
Yeah,
I'm
I'd
surprised
thought
he's-
Reece, especially as it looks like he's going to sign a new contract.
Oh, yeah, Nelson is on the bench. Yeah.
And if
Sorry.
there's any sort of doubts about Saka, they could have taken him out. And
Mikel
maybe
Arteta, sorry to cut you there, Julian. Mikel Arteta said that Nelson was injured. He said that Saka was injured. He said that
Trossard.
He lies.
Trossard was injured.
Yeah.
What a liar.
No,
He lies all the time.
He,
He doesn't tell us
he
anything.
didn't quite say that. He said that there were doubts. That's what he said.
He said, I'm sure he said.
No,
I'm sure I had his quotes from last
He said
week.
there were doubts.
I do feel for Tierney though. I'm going to be on. I think that's a real kick in the old.
But he's not saying he's a bad footballer. All he's saying is you don't fit the profile that I'm looking for.
Well, nor does Thomas Partey fit in the other position, really, does he?
Yeah.
I'll be really honest, he doesn't, does he? So what's he saying? Is he saying to the ball that
He fits it more than Tierney, for me.
Someone in there, you know. Listen, as well as Arsenal have done this season, there needs to be a lot of investment put into this team, like, or personnel changes. I think, you know.
Well, we know what it's going to take to get up a level to catch Man City.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know,
Thomas
it's going to
Partey
take a
playing
lot
at
of
right
money.
back ain't going to do it.
Well, maybe that's Caicedo.
That's what he's. I don't know whether he's saying to the ball that, you know, sign me in because this is what we're going to have. I don't know. I don't really understand what's going on there. Like, you know what I mean? But if I'm Tierney, I know that it's my last.
You're off.
For Arsenal, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, look, I'm okay with the 11. I know Tierney's off, so he's not preparing for a future with Kieran Tierney, and he's trying Partey in a role that I think he probably could play. It just didn't look good at Forest. We'll see how it looks today. Should we do some score predictions?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
3-1.
Well, 3-1 from Robbie.
3-1 Arsenal.
I'd say 2-0.
It's a strong side.
It's based on how few Wolves have scored.
Wolves have been shocking away from home as well.
They've been shocking away from home, and they don't score many goals. They've scored 31 goals this season. They've only won twice away from home. The last time was Southampton. So if we can't beat Wolves, then that is a really poor result for us. Really poor performance.
I'm with Julian 2-0, but after seeing that team, it wouldn't surprise me if we don't win this game.
Really?
I've gone for 3-0. Super chat from Macram says Arteta probably doesn't want to have Tierney get injured so they can sell him for top dollar. By the way, I better see you all in person in the USA tour. Macram, we'll have to announce it. I'll forget it. We are going to be there. We are going to be out in the US. So you'll get to meet us all there. Marla says, listen AFTV, if you want me to come to Arsenal from the heavens of Man City, you should give me Man City Saka. You should give Man City Saka. Okay, fair enough, thank you.
I'd rather not.
Yeah,
I don't think he'd want to play in the conference.
There we go. All right, we've got our score predictions in. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like everyone's a bit kind of flat after.
Well, you know what I mean.
11 that they
This
maybe
could have been the moment, innit? This could have been when we saw that trophy lifted on the Emirates pitch. It would have been a whole different atmosphere, be a party here today. But unfortunately, it is a bit flat because of how the season's ended. But we move on to next year. But let's just finish it with a win.
You know, it's a great point you make there, Robbie, because even if it weren't the party today, even if we hadn't won it, and we'd beaten Brighton, we'd beaten the other teams and all that, and we just missed out, I would feel a little bit more. It's the way it's gone at the end of the season for me. It's been a big, big disappointment the way we've fallen off. I look at that league table and it bugs me. It bugs me that Manchester City are above us, but it's the points gap that's done it for me. Even so much so that Manchester City in their last couple of games have been able to change all the team around. And as Julian's right, I couldn't watch that Man City Brighton game because even if Man City did drop points, it weren't the fact of it. Oh, if this could have happened and all that. It was the fact that they just rested so many players that it's gone like that. And I just think it's been a bit of a damp squid for us at the end of the season. It really has. It's been a bit of a letdown.
Flat.
It was. But then, as we discussed at the beginning, what's worse, us gradually throwing it away, or what happened to in Germany?
It's not a nice, easy way, is it?
Well, I don't know. It's interesting.
Should be excited today, though,
I'd been excited. Would have been nervous. But how despondent would we be if we'd thrown it away right at the end? And at least we've had time to come to terms with our upset.
How about instead of losing it one way or another way, we just win it? So next season,
exactly.
Next season we don't have to worry about.
Well, we've got to learn from it. That is the one thing.
Lessons need to be learned.
We absolutely do.
But on the other side of it, learning from it, if we win today, we've got 84 points. I think that's the third most points tally of any Arsenal team in our history. So
I think we should have finished with 90 points this season.
Yeah, I agree. We should have. Well, we know we should have. All right, we'll leave it there. You're all off to the game. And, of course, we'll be covering this match on AFTV. A big thanks to NordVPN who are powering this watch-along, this very special watch-along. And remember that there is a 30-day money-back guarantee, so use the code AFTV at checkout or hit the link in the description below. Visit nordvpn.com/AFTV for the AFTV special. You're all going to the games. Let's see how Partey does a right back. Let's see if we can end on a high. Let's see if we can get to 84 points. And let's see what's going on around the rest of the Premier League, because there is two more teams to be confirmed going down, fighting for that final spot, stay in the Premier League. Everything else is done except for Conference League. That could get a bit interesting as well. So we'll see if Tottenham end there, or maybe Brentford might nick it. Who else is in that fight?
Aston Villa.
Aston Villa. God, that's good.
Uri Emery.
That has
Do we want Tottenham to get conference?
Yes, I do.
Yes, we do.
I want them to suffer that Conference League, man.
Yeah, probably.
No, I want them in it.
Yeah, I want them in it.
Yeah.
Thursday nights away in Albania, yes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And Latvia.
There you go,
places like that.
Tottenham fans. I couldn't care less.
Fair enough. All right, we'll see you very soon. Enjoy the game, everyone.
NordVPN is the ultimate tool for exploring the internet. It's like having a Swiss Army knife that protects you from online threats, helps you to access fresh content, and gives you anonymity, and so much more. So make sure that you've got NordVPN in your arsenal. Get it? In your arsenal? Click the link. And with the AFTV special, you can save even more. Click the link to be invincible.